Hello everybody, welcome one more week. Today I'm bringing you a new mental model that was in its origins popularized more like for investment. However, I think that this is very useful for any kind of business, even for your own personal life, because it's again very simple. However, very powerful, like all the mental models. It's another tool. Remember that this is not magic. This is basically another tool that used together with another number of tools will make your decision making a lot easier and more effective. Today we're speaking about the Circle of Competence. So, no further ado, we will get to the point. My name is Borja Marin, this is Corporate Cats. Let's begin. So, what is the Circle of Competence? Circle of Competence, it's a mental model that states that you should understand what are the boundaries of the knowledge that you have and only take decisions based on the knowledge and skills that you have. Let's say this is your area of influence, this is your competence, this is what you know. And you should only take decisions based on what you know. The really importance of the circle of competence is not as much in how big is your circle, but on how well you know the boundaries of your circle. It doesn't matter if your circle is not that big, so far that you understand what is the part that you really know, really understand, and what is the range of skills that you have that you are confident to take decisions on. This mental model was popularized. I don't think that was invented, but I have checked different sources and I'm not sure, but I will say for sure like popularized by Charlie Munger and Warren Buffett. If you haven't heard about them, they were like one of the most famous investors in the United States that make a fortune using mental models such as this one. So we go to the next point. How do you know your circle of competence? This is difficult. There is no magic. There is no shortcut on that. I'm sorry. There is not a formula that if you do A, you will get B answer. No. The thing that you can do here is to observe your own successes and you try to be very impartial with yourself. This is extremely difficult, but you need to understand what are you good at. Take your career, take your life, and see the instances in which people around you told you that you're good at something, achievements that you have made, and see what are the common denominators of these achievements and these milestones, and try to understand what are the things that you are good at. Be very critical with yourself. If you are not good at something, it's absolutely fine to understand that this is out of your circle of competence and try to make decisions in this area. Probably is gonna take you to wrong places. You need to have this kind of balance, because if you're too arrogant and you believe yourself that you know more than you know, you are just totally outside of your circle of competence and you will make plenty of mistakes. But if you don't assess properly your own skills, or you have this kind of imposter syndrome and you think that everything that you do is wrong, you are limiting your circle of competence to something smaller. And again, you are not using your full potential. So again, I'm sorry, this is not easy, but bear this in mind and try to find this balance. One more thing important. We're talking about that the most important thing in the circle of competence is knowing its boundaries. It's not that important if it's big or small, but obviously anything that pushes you to make this circle bigger is good for you. So don't stop learning, learn as much as possible, but remember, when you are in the process of learning something, you don't have this fully integrated in your circle of competences, and probably it's gonna be a good idea to put this aside until you are confident that you have interiorized all this new knowledge. How can you apply the circle of competence in your career? Basically, all breaks down to one point. Take decisions only based on your own circle of competence. whatever is outside your circle of competence, find somebody whose circle of competence has these skills on it and follow their advice. That's easy. It's fine acknowledging that you don't know something. It's not only fine, I think it's necessary, because this is the only way that you will synergize with the people around you. Understand your boundaries. Whatever is out of your boundaries, go and ask, find information, and take the decision only after you have been properly advised by somebody who you consider that has these skills. It's that simple in that case, right? Now I want to explain you, as a manager, how can you use your circle of competence, because there are like different dimensions on it, okay? The first one is, if you're managing a team of people, it would be a good idea for you probably to understand the circle of competence of each one of your team members. Understand what are they good at and how can you synergize between them. So, if you have somebody that is good in numbers, whatever task you have related to numbers, you can give to this person, and keep other people like not doing that, because maybe you have somebody in your team that it's better with human interaction and you have something else that requires a client touch. So you diversify the task of your team based on the circle of competences of your own team. But there is one extra dimension on that. That is the circle of competence of your team as a whole. So together, your team, your project has a circle of competence. Things that your team is good at and things that your team is not good at. Knowing that, it's very important, because that can help you to find the difference between success and failure. If you understand what is the circle of competence of your team, if you are given a task or a deadline or a new project, you will understand if you need to push back this project, or you need more time, or you will need to prepare your team better because the current status of the team is not good. So again, remember that the most important part here is to acknowledge and understand what is the boundaries of this circle. I will explain you a little bit of my own experience with the circle of competence, how I use it in my own career. So it's a real life experience. When I got a job as a team leader, I started in a technical project that was absolutely out of my circle of competence. People I was managing, they are implementing certain things that require very technical knowledge on HTML or Java. So how I use my circle of competence? Obviously, when you start a new job and you see that there is a lot of people that know a lot, or it's a technical job, when you don't have the technical background, can be very, very overwhelming. However, I stuck to what I know I was good at. I'm good at strategy. I'm good at making things done. I'm good at giving direction and, lead together a team into a certain point. So I am sure that this was done by me. And every time I need to take a technical decision, I counted with a technical advisor. I trusted her with everything. I was not trying to oversmart my technical advisor, because that would be a very, very idiotic idea. So every time I have to take a decision, I was consulting with this person. This is my point of view. This is my vision. What is the technical part of it? Feasible, not feasible? Why is not feasible? Give me the reasons. With that, I managed to achieve like great goals with this team. And I have not stopped doing that. Right now, we have a much larger team, and still I have specialized people in different departments who I trust, and I'm very, very confident to say, I don't know about these specifics, please give me your inputs, and with these inputs, I work on my own decision, which is the circle of competence I have, okay? So, that's it for today. I hope that was useful for you. If you find this content useful, please drop a like, share the video, or like it in any of the platforms. Thank you very much for being here one more week, and see you the next one. Bye.